Dr. Fidelis, we're going public. Dr. Fidelis, we're going public. So good morning, Dr. Fidelis. Yet another moment or another episode of ABS-SMS. And today we will be going into a new portal. We will be looking at the staff, the teacher portal today. So it's ABS-SMS 201, ABS-SMS 201. Dr. Fidelis, it's a pleasure to have you today.
Greetings, good morning to you, Keith, over here. Greetings to you watching all over the world, wherever you are. Always a pleasure. I was a teacher. I can't wait to see what you have there for teachers. Let's get right into it.
Perfect. So without further ado, we want to bring people that are just joining us today on board from where we have come from, how far we've come from in the journey of the ABS-SMS school management system. The ABS school management system, that is what it is called. So we have come all the way from ABS-SMS module 101, and here we are today on ABS-SMS 201. So if you're just joining us today, I understand that you might be lost, but I mean, feel free to ask any questions. We have our videos on our Facebook pages. You can follow them, and we even have some on our YouTube channel. So we're going to show you how you can have access to all of that information. Was there any questions? Were there any place from last session that you think we should maybe do a little throwback so our audience can come up to speed?
Yeah, from before, I think a lot of them before now, people were asking how to contact. They still want to know the contact, and they were asking for, I know the pertinent question that the technical team was supposed to answer last time was the bandwidth of that you need for your school to use this, or how easy it is to use. So I know you answered some of that, but maybe you can just throw a little bit more, and how can people seize it?
So you do not need any bandwidth to utilize ABS-SMS, right? Just all you need is access to the internet, and you're able to use the product. So it's very internet friendly. No specific bandwidth is required. So without further ado, if you have no more questions, but if you do, we can answer them, or we can take a deep dive into the SM staff module.
I guess we'll get going because I don't want to chop off time, which is already limited for these.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, if you allow me. Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yes, I do see a screen.
Okay, great. So as usual, this is the website, abssms.net. You will come into the website, and since we are looking at a staff, it's part of the administration, you will log in this section, admin section. And you can sign in as a teacher of a school. We're trying to show you how the system is functional to you as a teacher. Correct? That's the login process, very user-friendly, like every other system.
Okay, so just before you move further, we'll paint the picture here. Correct. So if I am a staff of a school that has ABS-SMS as the management system for that school, I will have access to a login details. I'll put in my login details, and what we're showing here is how a staff of that school will log in and what they're going to see. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct, sir.
All right, so let's get it going.
Like my able Dr. Fidelis just said, this is how a staff will logging into the system, and we are in the system as a staff. Here, this is your account. You'll be looking at your account at the top right-hand corner. So that's your name. You can edit your profile. You can log out. You can log back in. You can add a picture if you want to. But now let's look at the SM School dashboard in the staff portal. So this is the dashboard. What the teacher has the ability to control or to see based on what class that they are teaching. So that's the dashboard. Again, the school is the same. We've been looking at the school throughout this demonstration, Kulu Memorial College, and the academic year or the current or the session are the same. That's the drop down menu. You can switch to whichever is relevant. And this is what the teacher can see. They can publish exams with, they can manage they can see the active students exam with published timetables, all of these things. So now the teacher can do things like put in a leave request, right? If they wanted to take a leave request, on the system, we understand that professionals from time they have family obligations and other things that they would desire or would like to, put in a request for a leave. So this is where you're able to come in and do that and submit it to the administration to approve it. Like we said, was one-stop shop, user-friendly, time value of your money. Right, Dr. Fidelis?
Absolutely. So Keith, question for you here. When you go to the dashboard, will it be the same? Is it by default the way you saw it here, or a staff can customize and say, okay, I want to be looking at customize what to see on the dashboard on the display when you log on? So can you customize your window so to say that I want to see my classes, I want to see my exams, I want to see the start to the next class, like a clock showing you,
right?
anything
Well,
like that, or want to see my next day?
In terms of customizing, right?
Yes.
You have to understand that this is a system that is being controlled by the administration, right? So depending on your role in the school, you have access, you have access to certain functions and not all, right? So whatever you're assigned based on your role, right?
Right.
That is what you have the ability to see and manage, right?
Correct.
So if a teacher, this is basically the dashboard that the teacher can see SM School, what they're able to manage their class, okay, look at the student dashboard, for example.
No, it was here. It was here. It was here. Go, if you go.
Was that what, is that no,
if you go back to where you were on the dashboard, general dashboard, yeah, the dashboard right there.
The SM academic?
The one before, yeah, the one before now, the one that has the staff, just the one that was before this one.
Okay, so you're probably talking about a leave request.
No, one step before this.
A step before this?
Yes, earlier than this, where the teacher can choose to see his class, Here? Yes, here. So can you customize this dashboard as a teacher with what you have access to? Total students, exam published timetables. Can you put there next leave? Can you put there to see a leave, to see a next class? I'm just asking if you can have more apps or more display on your dashboard, just like with some other, not necessarily school, like at the workplace, where you can come in and you when you log on, you have certain things that you want to see on your window.
Yes, there's certainly the flexibility for you to be able to do that.
Okay.
If you go into your profile, there are other things that you can make changes.
Absolutely.
What you love to see. Yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, that is the answer.
All right then. So we can look at the we've just looked at this, so we can take a dive into the SM Academic, one of the most important modules in the staff portal, right?
Yeah.
So the staff is able to manage these. Well, based on this school, all of this is based on the institution, okay? The attendance, study materials,